Hey guys, what is up? Steven here. I'm going to be bringing you an OU replay today. I know I said yesterday that I would be able to upload an evening with Gumi session tonight, but unfortunately my drive back from DC that was supposed to take 2 to 2.5 hours ended up taking 4.5 to 5 hours. So yeah, I really didn't actually have time to record that tonight, but I will bring you that tomorrow. But I am going to just bring you this OU replay today. This is a team that I made with my boy Scotty. It's actually pretty cool. The basis of it is it's kind of a bulky offensive, kind of stallish team. We wanted to build around Calm Mind, Rain Dance, Manaphy, plus Gourgeist S, Gourgeist Small. Because what's cool about Gourgeist Small is it's actually very fast, and by very fast I mean relatively fast, and that allows it to outpace a lot of the physical metagame and burn them with Will-O-Wisp, and it actually has really good synergy with Manaphy. And at that point we figured we needed a flying spam check, and also we needed something that could kind of reliably just to switch into Talonflame. And Mega Ampharos was the first thing that kind of came to both of our minds. So at this point, we have Calm Mind, Rain Dance, Rest Manaphy, Rest Talk Ampharos. So we decided to run Calm Mind, Unaware, Heal Bell Clefable, which actually works really well on this team. It we have two Pokemon with Rest, so you can wake those guys up, and really there's no fear of any of your Mons getting statused. Clefable is a really reliable heal beller, and yeah, it does a pretty good job at what it does. And finally, we got Mew for Stealth Rooks and Ferrothorn for Spikes, and they just kind of have good synergy with the rest of the team. Threats to the team currently include Megazard X and Megazard Y. Both of them are very threatening. But yeah, let's get into this battle. It was actually a really good battle. It ended up being kind of two more bulky, stallish teams going up against each other. So looking at team preview, I realized that Heatran is very obnoxious, and this is why Mew actually carries Earthquake now, because of this battle. I changed up the moveset, it has EQ now, just to hit Heatran, because not only does it get defog, but it can also handle Heatran now with Earthquake, so that is very good for stall teams. Alright, so looking at team preview, Manaphy puts in work. Yeah, Manaphy puts in work. It's basically the win condition. And yeah, let's get into it. So I'm going to lead Mew as he actually leads Crobat. I know he's not going to stay in. I am a Psychic type, so he's not going to taunt me. And I just get up my Stealth Rocks on the first turn, which is really nice. And now he brings in Ferrothorn, miss Will-O-Wisp, which is really unfortunate. But now the switch into Heatran is fairly obvious. So what I decide to do is go into Ampharos, just to see if he has Toxic or Earth Power. He actually ends up having Earth Power, but now I am Mega Ampharos, which is pretty powerful, and that is definitely helpful. So at this point I can just go into my Manaphy, and I'm just going to click Scald. It's easily my best play, and he brings in the Ferrothorn, and it gets burned, so that's pretty much justice for me missing my Will-O-Wisp, so that's good. And now, really I didn't care what he was going to do, but he actually goes for Leech Seed as I go into my own Ferrothorn, which is great for me, because I can basically just get at my rocks, as he goes back into his, or Spikes rather, as I go into Heatran. So the hazard stacking has begun, and Manaphy is easily the best switch in to this Heatran on my team, and at this point, once again, I really don't lose anything by going for Scald. But I predicted him to switch out this time and go for Calm Mind. So he actually goes into Quagsire with Unaware, so it didn't really matter. But now I predict him to Toxic and go for Rain Dance, pretty much revealing my set, but also giving me the Rain boost, and showing that he just got predicted. So I'm just going to go for Scald, go for Burns. It's definitely a very powerful attacking move. And he is burned here, so I know even if he does carry Power Whip, I'm max HP, max defense, it's not going to do much, so I can take him out with a Scald, plus the burn damage, but he makes a good play and goes for Leech Seed, but he really has no switch-ins to me in the rain, so I am free to just kill him with another Scald, and that is nice. Now he goes into Metachamp, and I really don't want him setting up a substitute for free. That would definitely be very bad for me. So what I am going to do is stay in with Manaphy, and it just shows its bulk. And then I get a crit, and now I predict him to go for some type of fighting attack. He doesn't want to miss Send Headbutt, and it turns out he actually wanted recovery as well. Fortunately, I do make the correct prediction and go into Gourgeist, as he can now hit me with Ice Punch. However, I get the Leech Seed off on him, and I do carry Protect, so that's a dead Metachamp, which is really nice. It would have died to Hazards anyway, so I didn't really lose anything by going for Protect. But now he can go into his Crobat and just annihilate me with Brave Bird, rather. So that kind of sucks. Now I go to Ampharos, as it is my best switch in, and he U-turns out, as I now reveal that I have the rest. So basically, my Ampharos has been training in the mountains, and is basically very, very well trained. I get a Dragon Pulse on the first Sleep Talk. I'm not really sure why he didn't recover anyway. I'm not really sure. But I get another Sleep Talk Dragon Pulse, so just shows how well trained my Ampharos is. And now he goes into Clefable to get his Calm Mind up, and then I just Volt Switch and get a crit, because once again, Ampharos is just, it's so well trained. How are you supposed to win against that? And now he goes for Moonlight, and I know that he actually is running the Unaware set because he took Hazards damage, so I definitely got to keep that in mind. And this turn I considered Leech Seeding. Unfortunately, I made the worst play and went for Gyro Ball, and at that point, that pretty much, I'm forced to go into my Ampharos, as he roars me out. My Clefable really cannot do anything to him, which is extremely unfortunate. I do go for Calm Mind, just kind of to force him to roar me out, but I know at +6 it still only does like 20% or something, so that's not that much. But he roars me on Ampharos, and as we saw earlier, he is faster and he takes me out. But that does allow me to go into Manaphy now, and I'm able to get off the rest because I am faster. As he goes for Earth Power, that does absolutely nothing. I don't even have any special defense investment, so that's very impressive. And now I predict the Roar and go into Ferrothorn, trying to get into Mew, but unfortunately I go back into Manaphy. I'm going to make the same risky play again and go into Ferrothorn, as he now roars me into Clefable. So at this point, this is when I'm beginning to realize that Heatran is obnoxious to this team, and I'm going to have to try to stall him out of PP, and basically Clefable here is just extremely bulky, and I do have the Heal Bell and Moonlight. Unfortunately, I do only have 8 Moonlights, so I want to get a Calm Mind up eventually. I Heal Bell that turn, actually, to wake up my Manaphy. And now I Calm Mind. What this allows me to do is take more Lava Plumes before having to Moonlight up, so that is good. Now I get roared out into Mew, which is really unfortunate, but my Manaphy is awake. So what this does allow me to do is go into Manaphy and just get a Scald off, which only does 37% because Heatran is extremely bulky, but there are definitely worse things that could have happened there. And now at this point, I am just going to go back into Manaphy, expecting him to attack, as that is what he does. And I'm just trying to think of ways to beat this thing. And this time I Scald. He protected, which I don't really think he had any good reason to do. All it did was give me Lefty's recovery. I know it gave him Lefty's recovery as well, but I think Manaphy kind of beats his team right now. He needed to get the threat out. And now I Rain Dance as he sends me out. So basically my thought behind that was, if I get roared back in, I can just rest and get back up to full. So now I'm realizing that my Mew is probably my best way to beat this Heatran, and he's been protecting a lot, so I am able to get the roost there, which is really nice. And this is a specially defensive Mew, so he's not really doing anything to me, and even though I'm not really doing anything to him either, I am eventually going to come out ahead in this matchup. Unfortunately, he does burn me there, but I am just going to keep going for Psyshock, as he now roars back into Clefable, which really sucks because Clefable can't do anything to this Mon, as we saw earlier. But fortunately, I'm back into Mew now, and he roosts with his cool story Brobat, but I do just go straight for Psyshock. I don't want to mess around with this threat. I really don't want him to remove my hazards. And now he makes a good play and predicts my Will-O-Wisp and goes into Heatran. Yeah, that was kind of an obvious play. I should have just kept Psyshocking, but it's fine. Now I can go for Psyshock again as he kills me. And what this does allow me to do is go into Manaphy. And he actually does make a good play here and not protecting. Because if I had gotten a Calm Mind up, that would have just guaranteed me the game. But at this point, he can just bring in his Crobat. He takes me out with a Brave Bird. And now Ferrothorn basically wins me the game against his two remaining Mons. He would have gone for Flamethrower earlier with his Clefable in against my Ferrothorn if he had it. So I really don't think that he does. So he goes for Brave Bird. So I just take him out with a Gyro Ball. And now he is in with his Clefable against my Ferrothorn. And unfortunately, I realized that we have the same amount of Moonlights and Gyro Balls, so I try to Leech Seed him and I miss, which really sucked. I could have won the game right there, but I gave him a free turn, and now it's just kind of back to a stalwart. I went for Power Whip, basically to conserve PP. My thought process at this point is, all I need to do is keep him at the point where it forces him to go for Moonlight, because if I can do that, then he can't Calm Mind, and he can't really do anything to me. So if I can keep him low enough that he basically has to go for Moonlight, then I should have the game, because as we saw, I have two attacks on Ferrothorn, being Gyro Ball and Power Whip. So he's never really going to be able to get back up to a high enough amount of HP. And he finally just said GG and went for the Moonblast as I kill him with Gyro Ball. I would have come out on the end there, out on top at the end there, pretty much no matter what. I did have my own Clefable, and I had the Leech Seed on him. So, I think I would have been able to win that particular Stalwart, since we both had Unaware, so our boosts, it wouldn't have mattered. So, yeah guys, I know this was a bit more long and drawn out game, but it was a good one, so I thought I would show y'all. And if you like this video, please leave a like and a comment. They are greatly appreciated, and see you guys next time.